All right, it's time for the Love and Hip Hop Season 1 reunion. Oh Lord, Angie Martinez is the host. Ooh, how far she's come. It's so funny for Olivia to say, there's heifers out there who can't sing. Why is it so easy for them to get a deal? Well, they're likable and, well, you can't sing either. How did you get a deal, dear? Emily doesn't want to give up on her family. Your family gave up on you. No, you don't want to give up on Fab, but Fab, you can't give up what you never cared about. Olivia gonna say, I'm trying not to be in my G-Unit days, but I wanted to punch her in her face. When have you ever busted a grape or a chart? Girl, sometimes a tuna melt on some crispy toast, sourdough, child, that hit. But Olivia's wig. Everybody else, it's a random, shitty 27 piece. But Olivia, this carry my bag to the Hilton. Honestly, you know what? This is giving me Sanderson's sister, a Bette Midler tea. Winifred! It's a Winifred wig. Oh, Jesus Christ. Samaya, this bump curl and this Morticia Adams. I gotta go have a quiche. Shit, now I need to eat my way through this. It's wintertime, ain't nowhere to go, honey. It's quiches and lemon bars and tuna melts. And pulled pork. Angie gonna say, of course we know a lot about these ladies already. No, we don't. What does Chrissy do for work? Other than, I can't imagine having sex with unwashed Jim Jones. I can't imagine what those creases and crevices smell like. So, I guess maybe your mole has omitted your sense of smell. Olivia, all we know about you is a hook from 50 Cent. There's Emily, the stylist heifer who lives up under Fab's leg, but he won't even claim her. And Samaya, the rapless rapstress. I mean, all we know of Samaya is, her struggle and her lack of musical ability. But I don't think we know these women. Or maybe that's all there is of them to know. And that's sad. Samaya gonna say, well, I didn't come on to get my rap career started. I came to get a more established sound. You came to get it started, Heifer. And acting in LA, you were acting an ass here. What acting? You can't act like you can get your hair together, so I don't know how you can act. Oh, God, Chrissy gonna say, well, Samaya, I'm sorry you feel like I stopped you because that wasn't my intention. Yes, it was. You were jealous because Jim cheats on you all the time. You stopped one for JJ, but another 20 is coming in. He used that as a distraction, JJ. You were so focused on Samaya, you didn't notice the other skanks. So now we've got the montage of Samaya and Jim and Chrissy. Chrissy ain't got no job. Samaya at least trying to get a job. Chrissy, what are you up to? I'm sorry, unmarried Chrissy, what are you up to? Your mole seems industrious, but you don't. So the last line of Samaya's is, you're Jim Jones' girlfriend, a kept heifer. I'm the kind of heifer you keep. And then it goes to the lie, and Chrissy says, yeah, they keep you in an attic. Well, where are you staying in your foreclosure? Are you squatting? Are you squatting? Do you hide in the attic when the sheriff comes by with that warrant to get you out of your foreclosure? I think you hiding in attics now, girl. Child, Chrissy, like, we don't shop in the same places, we don't eat in the same places. I can't take her seriously. With them scraped up fake Louboutins you got on. We seeing all the gray peeling off. Like you up here acting like you got red bottoms on and the paint has peeled off. You keep saying I'm not in the music industry, but you act like you have a golden ear. You trying to be Cookie Lion. Chrissy gonna say I'm a little too grown for that. You're dating an overgrown child and you're jobless. Girl, you are many things. You are overgrown, but you ain't grown. Just because you got childbearing hips don't mean you a grown woman, heifer. Now we going over the boat ride. Well, this is good. Now we can focus on how Emily was always trying to start mess so that nobody would notice that your man wasn't claiming you. Girl, now we talk about her little performance. And Chrissy was like, well, I just didn't see how it would fit with Jim Jones' brand and then my partner. So I just don't have a conference. It just wouldn't fit. Girl, They gonna ask Olivia in this Halle Berry thriller wig, well, what did you think about the show? I think she could have done better. And how do you think you did when you were in the track with December? Really? Your screechy ass? You know what? If anybody knows about doing better, it's Olivia because she's always trying to do better. Can't, but was trying for a while. Angie Martinez says to Olivia, would you say this is a low part of your career? And Olivia's going to say, well, not a low part. That's true because now you're in the lowest part, true irrelevance. Well, I mean, you found a man with some money that married you, so at least you ain't a footlocker no more. Just in between shifts. So now we have Olivia's faux relationship plotline with the man that came on the show just to say he wasn't dating her. Emily, girl. You know, I see why Fab ain't with you. You messy. This flashback to when Chrissy and her mole weren't believing Olivia's lies. Olivia is holding tight to her story that her and Darrell were dating, trying to figure it out. Well, he had clearly figured out he didn't want nothing to do with you. Or your lack of hits. Or this crispy wig. Oh, Lord. I mean, Candy's hair looks better than this. This is a bird's nest. It really looks like you picked it out of the trash. I guess it was next to your career. Emily said, look, you said you was seeing him. He said he hadn't seen you in months. Just like the charts. Oh, so now the slick shade comes to play. Now, first we have Chrissy. It wasn't my favorite situation, but she's a beautiful girl. I'm never going to say that I can't trust her, that she wouldn't lie to me about a guy. I don't want to go that route. That was some good slick shade, Chrissy. That was some slick shade. But now we got Emily. Well, you know, I would never want to put Emily in that kind of situation. Sierra, listen to me, Sierra. I keep calling her Sierra because she got these crispy Sierra wigs on. But she said, I would never want to put Emily in this kind of situation because, you know, she's never been out with Fab. Well, you've never been out with Darrell, so... Actually, Olivia, you were never attached to anything but a hook. A hook. Emily's like, you can't compare your situation to my situation. I mean, you can because you're both irrelevant. It's two sides of a disrespected coin. Emily said, look, your man came on the show and said he wasn't your man. Olivia said, well, your man didn't even come on the show. Exactly, two sides of the same disrespected coin, and the coin is on the floor with your love lives. So Emily confesses after we see her package of basically begging Fab for love that, yeah, I came on this show to beg Fab for love so he could see how sad I was, and child, he didn't even watch it probably. I mean, really, you trusted your future to Mona Scott Young and this awful bang. Did you ever think about dating someone better? Angie said, after the show, did it cause tension in your relationship? It can't possibly, because Fab don't give a fart. Fab left her at the photo shoot, please. She can have all the tension she wants. She got all the tension in that relationship. Fab don't care. She know if she walk out to leave, Fab will say, don't let the doorknob hit you. Angie said, do you believe there are other women? She said, oh, well, Adrian and Amber, those are false. Girl, you know you are honestly third in line. You just the heifer that stays home. So Emily says, look, I've never said this was a perfect relationship. I'm not in denial. And Olivia gonna say, I think you are in denial. Olivia, you're in denial. You think you can sing. You better get to Foot Locker before your shift starts. Chrissy gonna say, oh, well, if Emily putting up with this treatment from Fab, how can she be a great friend to me? Girl, you got on your knee and begged Jim Jones to marry you and then got cussed out by his mama. And you talking about you strong? Girl, you're weaker than wet toilet paper. And so is this plot line. Only thing strong about you is your weave sew-in. So to wrap that sorry segment up, Emily says, well, me and Fab are in a different place. I'm not going to acknowledge who's not acknowledging me. Mm-hmm. And here we are a decade later. You still acknowledging. And still ain't getting shit for your troubles. Oh, now we've brought out pre-diabetic dollars. And moot point Maurice. Maurice, you shouldn't have shown up to this because these heifers ain't worth your time. I'm sorry, I would never let Jim Jones punk me, and I'll tell you this, we're not hearing about Maurice's foreclosures now, are we? Are we? I haven't heard a peep. So now it's time to talk about Samaya's interview with DJ Vlad about Olivia's non-career. And the truth is, Olivia, this show is all you had until you found Foot Locker. Girl, this wardrobe was by Gap Jeans. He got on a jean jacket, white V-neck t-shirt, and some cargo pants. No, I'm sorry, not cargo pants. Tan jeans. This Gap-ass jump jiving whale outfit, Olivia's just wearing embarrassment. And then Samaya's manager is over there in Old Navy grape and cranberry looking like an Oompa Loompa. Oh, God, now Samaya's saying, well, a lot of people were saying that Olivia was saying that I wasn't relevant and didn't belong on the show. Olivia, you ain't relevant. How you gonna talk about somebody else's relevance when your claim to fame is candy shop, what I got. I don't even know the lyrics, and neither do you. That's not something that's coming on in the club in 20 years. Now, Samaya wants to call Rich Vagina Boy, but your vagina's in question. See, now don't sit there like a whole androgynous heifer that slapped a wig on the head and called it macaroni, and then want to talk about Rich Dollar's vagina. Rich Dollars is a bitch, but oh Lord, I don't want to think about his nether regions, and neither do you. What, you want him to have a pussy so y'all can click and clack? Oh, God. Rich is like, well, you just can't undermine her career. She was signed by Clive Davis. And where is she now? On Mona Scott's couch. Doing nothing. A nest on her head. Making no bread. You can't live on yesterday. She was signed by G-Unit's 50 Cent in 2005. Well, it's 2020. And 50 Cent is so far from music, he can't smell it no more. Flash in the pan, flash in the pan. It was a gimmick, baby. The hottest rap group in the history of music. History, darling, is the operative word. And by the time this show was filming in 2011, child, from 2005 to 2009, they were hot, honey. They was hot and sizzling. Now Lloyd is broke. I don't even know who the rest of them was, and 50's doing TV. Now, Samaya, you keep saying, Rich, you're still a vagina. Well, what do you think of yours if vagina is an insult? Oh, gosh, so Samaya said, I got a mortgage back home. I was in that attic for a couple of days. You were in there for a few hours. You were staying at Mona Scott Young's Motel Inn. Oh, God, now we're going to have December. Remember, I can't sing. In December, my voice tries to prove it with these strings. No thanks, hon. Oh, my goodness. And then the crowd footage, everybody is like, you see Chrissy going, girl. It is a ballad. It don't call for none of this. That might be a put your lighter up at best. And it don't call for all that emotion. Oh, Lord, this wig. This wig. It's not fair that I have to look at it. Oh, my God. So, Angie said, there's been comments about your mole, Chrissy. She said, leave her alone. Child, that mole the only one working in that house. Oh, apparently the mole used to be flat and then it grew. And she said if it gets any bigger, it has to go. But you lied because you can't afford that kind of cosmetic surgery. Because, girl, as you got older, it got bigger. Oh, Jesus, another 20 minutes? This is agony. Now we're bringing out Jim Jones, the bullied. That's the funny thing, Jim Jones. You want to bully that fat manager, but you let Chrissy bully you into an engagement you had no intention of keeping. You're a wimp. A wimp. A panty waste. Oh, God, now we gonna show Chrissy begging for this man to marry her again? How embarrassing. I ain't never gonna beg no man to marry me. Not after 5, 6 years. If you don't want to marry my ass in 18 months, I'm moving on. At our big age, girl, If you don't know in 18 months, baby, it's a no. It's just no. Chrissy says it took me a little time to figure out what I want to do with my life, but I want to live off of you. And he ain't nothing to live off. He said, I'm with you. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to embarrass you in front of all your friends, but Heifer, I ain't marrying you. Child, he ain't even wearing this ring she got him. Girl, and you want to talk about Emily and Fabulous? It really should have been not love, but yearning and being unclaimed. And it's so funny he's saying, oh, I had to take my ring off before I went to the gym. The gym. Want to make sure it didn't slip off in the sauna? Oh, Jim says I have a date that I'm thinking about. I just haven't told her. Exactly. It's the 12th of Nebuary. It'll probably be August 18th, 2070. And she gonna ask Emily, would you take matters into your own hands? Would you propose? I'm more of a traditional girl. I like to just be cheated on quietly. Child, Chrissy proposed, but she didn't take matters into her own hands. She barely saved herself from getting embarrassed. Now, you know full and well Fab would tell you in front of everybody on the mic, no. And that would be that. Child, after he didn't show up on this show, you really think you can ask him to marry you? I can see him on the mic right now. No. Emily said, I want the fairy tale. Girl. You've got a nightmare. Angie said, if there's a second season, will there be a wedding? Jim said they're going to have to pay. And you know Mona is not coughing up. Olivia says, they're going to get together, girl. I promise they're going to get together. Oh, they're so sweet when they're at home. 10 years later, you ain't got your career together and they ain't got their merge together. Oh, Chrissy said there's not going to be a 3 years from now. There's not. Exactly. It's going to be a full decade. A decade and a foreclosure later, you're still unwed. A decade and a foreclosure later. Ain't got shit to show but failure. I'd be embarrassed. And now we got the crack light of Mama Jones. So Mama Jones is like, look, I don't need the surprise. The surprise was for Jimmy, so Chrissy should have told me because I'm the mama and the surprise was for Jimmy. I didn't have no problem with Chrissy. I didn't hate her. I just wanted to be involved. Like Rob Dixon would want to be involved. Oh, Lord. No matter what, that's still my Lion King. I don't care. But you cut the umbilical cord years ago. Nancy, you need to admit you don't like Chrissy, but the truth is Jim don't like Chrissy and he never married her. Look, I'd have to deal with Chrissy no matter what. If that's who he loves, I like it or not, that's what it is. And get it down on with your funky bus fare. Ho! Give me a ho if you've got your funky bus fare. So Mama Joyce, Chrissy said, I don't want to disrespect his mother or hurt his feelings. But your mole, you'll let your mole do your dirty work. Now, Angie said, oh, Jim, you not moving forward with Chrissy because your mama can't stand her trifling ass? And he said, no, my mom doesn't have any influence on that. I don't like her because, I realize she's a bill and a burden. Chrissy really is a burden. I mean, the only one bringing in true income in the house is the mole. Now we got Chrissy dropping a tear. I'm tired. I'm not fighting with either one of y'all no more. Except for the next 10 years, and I still ain't got that dang wedding. Child, the second they started talking to Olivia, Mama Jones walked off. Oh, the heifer that was lying to me, saying it wasn't gonna be nothing and was trying to put a drink in my face? So, girl, that was the sorry-ass season.